Hello, welcome back guys, this is Goose. Welcome back to another edition of Dark Souls 3 for Elden Ring players. Today we are going to be taking on two bosses, and they're actually not too far away from where we're located. But before we do that, I wanted to let you know that I upgraded my character a little bit, and I put a few perks into Vigor. These are my current stats for this build, and we're going to continue forward from here. Now I spawned into the last checkpoint that we were at, and we're gonna go ahead and head up the elevator that we unlocked in the previous playthrough. Alright, so we're gonna go up this elevator. And there's another NPC that we can unlock here. We're going to go ahead and unlock her right away. She is our miracle teacher. So if you are going to be doing a miracle-based build, this is going to be very important for you. It's basically like a faith build in Elden Ring. So you'll encounter this guy. His name is Morn.
Another one of those unkindled, are you? All you faceless undead, behaving as if you deserve respect. No matter. Heed my words. If you've any sense, you go find a coffin to huddle up inside. You, here, in this land of hollows. You're like a frail maiden on the front lines. If, like the others, you're fool enough to play the champion, then go on ahead. Traipse right past the abandoned church. You'll face death. And it won't be pretty. Enough death to leave you broken. Time after time. Yeah.
The abandoned church is an area which we haven't gone to, but we'll head down in this location as well.
If, like the others, you're fool enough to play the champ.
And he's actually taking care of this maiden that's inside of this cage. Which we usually wouldn't be able to unlock her unless we buy a key from the merchant that's inside of Firelink Shrine. But if you have enough health and you have the blue tear stone ring, you could jump down in this location here, and you could just barely survive. Also, before I jump down, I wanted to mention that this is the location where that body is hanging over. You could probably shoot it down from here, but if you shoot it down, it's gonna get stuck up on the top, and it could be kind of hard and tricky to bring it down from this location. So let's see if we can get it down in one shot. If not, there you go. You want to get it kind of to the side so that it falls into the cliff. And here it is, the Flamestone plate ring. And what it does is it blocks a lot of incoming fire damage. So what we're going to do now is we're going to jump down in this area. What you want to try to do is you kind of want to try to land on those rocks that are right below me. And just pray that you don't die. Ouch! That hurt a lot, and I barely made it. But we survived, so let's just take some Estus flasks. And we're also going to shoot down this body here. And be careful with these rats. They continually come out of that gutter over there. I'll show you where. And they could be devastating if you let them pile up. So we're going to go ahead and take care of them as they're coming out of the tunnel. And we'll just head out in this direction. Kill this rat. Kill all of them as they're coming out. And they're not too bad this way. Now from here you could pick up your talisman, and this talisman is like your weapon that allows you to use faith in Elden Ring. If we come up here, we can talk to the maiden that's over here.
Who is there? Is someone there? Anyone? Oh, please, whoever you are, touch me. The dark surrounds me, nibbles at my flesh. Little creatures, they never stop biting. So please, hold out your hand and touch me. Ah, oh, yes, there you are. So close, indeed. Then I am not entirely alone just yet. Praise the merciful gods above.
So she uses a gesture.
Oh, forgive me. I am Irina of Karim. I came to this land so that I might be a firekeeper. Your touch has freed me from the darkness. You are a champion, then? I am weak and unfit to tend the flames. But if it would not trouble you, might I enter into your service instead? Oh, thank you, sweet champion. I shall take my vows. I, Irina of Karim, solemnly swear to serve you.
So as you might have picked up, she's a failed firekeeper. She was on the path to become a firekeeper, and she completed most of her tasks, including being blinded, but she failed eventually and is unfit to be a firekeeper. So she's gonna serve as our miracle teacher.
You've gone and rescued her, have you? How very quaint. Pitying creatures that are beyond help. Very well. I'm sick of looking after her at any rate. I am Egon, a knight of Karim. I am allied to you for as long as you assure the girl's safety. And only for that long. What's the matter? My terms are very simple. I am allied to you for as long as you assure the girl's safety. And only for that long.
So as he says, as long as we can ensure her safety, this guy will not be an enemy to us. As a matter of fact, we can use him as an ally, and that's important in this game because there's no such thing as spirit ashes. So taking on bosses could be a little devastating if you don't have any friends. So instead of calling for spirit ashes, you could have some of your allies, such as this guy right here, help us with some of the bosses. All right. So from here, we're gonna head up back into the elevator. And this time when we use the elevator, we're not gonna go all the way up. We're gonna go halfway and then we're gonna jump off. And we're gonna unlock another location that you may miss if you don't know what you're looking for. You'll see the ledge as soon as you're going up. There it is. You just jump off. And you'll find Seedward here.
Ah, oh, don't disappear like that. You had me downright worried. But thanks to you, An epiphany has struck me square in the head. I've unraveled the riddle of this inscrutable lift. On some days I begin to doubt myself. I went up the tower, so I thought, then somehow ended up here. I'm not exactly sure what happened. Anyhow, do you see that? That humongous beast? I'm no coward and I've a steady hand, but that thing makes my skin crawl. How now? Think twice before you go down that road.
So he's referring to that big demon there. We're gonna go over there and fight him. He's actually not too hard because halfway through the fight, as soon as Seedward notices that we're fighting him, he will join us and he'll serve as a distraction for the demon.
I could try talking some sense into him. No, I think not. He's far too overheated. I've got to use my head and think.
Alright, so we're gonna head down and aggro him. You want to aggro him closer up to this cliff. That way Seedward helps us out faster. I wouldn't try to lock into him too much. And Seedward is here to help us now. So he'll take some of the aggro off of us. It is possible that Seedward dies here if you let him, but it's unlikely. If he does die, you will be unable to continue Seedward's quest line. So try not to let him die, but it's pretty unlikely that he will die here. Oh no, we died. We'll come back to him. Kind of got stuck in a weird location. Not to worry though, we're not too far away.
Go!
Alright, so now we're back over here, and we can go ahead and try to kill him again. Ouch. He could be a little bit tricky, but overall I think he's a fair fight. Afterwards, you could go over here and talk to Seedward.
That was quite a performance. But you mustn't get in over your head. We unkindled must put our duties first. But, for the moment, we've a toast to make. To your valor, my sword, and our victory together. Long may the sun shine. Well, I'm going to have myself a little nap. The only thing to do, really, after a nice toast.
So he dozes off. He gives us, you saw, he gives us 2 items. He gives us a gesture, a second gesture, and he also gives us a little drink that restores our HP. We're gonna go ahead and save this little drink for now, and I'm gonna go ahead and Ember just to regain some of my HP because I'm all out of flasks. And we still have a little ways to go before we are done in this area. So there isn't very much in terms of items in this location, but you can grab a few here. There's a large club, and then you could use your range weapon to bring down 2 other items. One here. This first item is the Northerner set. It's pretty good. It has decent stats. I'm not sure if you like that appearance, but you could equip it if you'd like. And the Pale Tongue. The Pale Tongue is actually the currency for the Covenant Rosario of the 3 Fingers. And Rosario is actually the Covenant that lets you respec by using a Pale Tongue. So you want to hold on to that Pale Tongue for later, just in case you want to respec. Now here we're going to encounter some of these caged enemies again. Just be careful and just know that they're out here. You could tell them apart because they're slightly lighter shade than the other enemies. Like, for instance, these 2 that are up in the cages. We're going to go ahead and fireball them. Another one here. Alright, and there's going to be a few dogs in this location as well, as a jump scare to your left, right here. Ouch. And some dogs. Trying to be really conservative with my health because I don't have any more health flasks. As you can see, dogs are pretty weak to fire. As well as some of these guys. So let's go ahead and bring them down with some flames. And pick up a human pine resin. Now there's two evangelists here. We're not going to try to take them on the same time. So what I like to do is I like to go ahead and just aggro one of them. Alright, so now that I've separated them, I could take on the other one. And don't be afraid to kind of cheese these enemies in that way. The game kind of allows you to do that. I think it kind of understands that it's kind of cruel in that sense. Alright. So now we're going to head outside and pick up another ring. This is a pretty good ring for dex builds, and if in case you want to have a light build, the lower your equipment load is, the higher your attack increases, and usually that means that you have to go into the super light class. But even now, you could equip it and get some worth out of it. And now, there's a dead end here, but what we want to do is we want to jump down into these rafters and into this tower. Alright, so once we're in this tower, there's a few items we can pick up here. A homeward bone. And then the more important one is down in this location. So this part can be kind of tricky. You have to run and jump to those rafters that you see on that edge over there. And you could lose quite a bit of health. So hopefully I won't die because I can't recover any more health. There you go. There's one. And then we jump back down. There we go. To grab this item. Now this is a pretty powerful ring. It's kind of meta. So I'm going to go ahead and equip it. I think I would prefer it actually to the Flynn's ring. And what it does, it raises our stamina recovery. So we're going to go ahead and slot that in. And we are done with this area for now. You'll see where we come out. We come out in right where we spawned in last time. These doors are closed right now, but we'll open up from the other side. Alright, so this is where the boss is in this area, and we usually spawn in from up here. Ouch. Let's get there before we die. So we usually spawn in from this location, and then we jump down from here. But we're not going to jump down because that'll kill us right now. So we'll go all the way around. I'll try not to die. Kind of scared that dog fall with me. Here we go. Alright, so now that we've made it here, we could go ahead and rest. This is where we fought that invading NPC, and we went up the stairs. But this time we're going to go across the archway. And we're going to avoid all these enemies. Now, this is one of the instances where that giant we talked to is going to help us out. Normally, if you haven't talked to the giant and you go past this archway, he will attack you as well as the other enemies. But since he's helping us out, when you get close to these enemies, he's going to start shooting his arrows from all the way above that tower. And he's going to pretty much help us out so that we could not have to worry too much of all of these enemies. It's nice to have a friendly giant on your side. And this area could be kind of devastating when you're coming on here without talking to the giant, because then you have to contend with the enemies and you have to contend with the arrows that are hailing down. Now here you have to employ one of those run-in jumps to grab this item here, an undead bone shard, and then back onto the platform. Before we go into the shack, we're going to go to the left and we're going to unlock another set of armor over here. Now when you grab this, there's a little guy hidden upstairs. You could kind of make him out right there. And as soon as you grab it, he's going to try to scare you. Just be ready for him. He's not too hard. And one more set right here. Now these mortician ashes, if you turn these mortician's ashes and any other ash in that regard to the merchant inside of Firelink Shrine, she will upgrade her inventory. So Greatwood upgrades his inventory by sending him out to pillage, and the other merchant, the Shrine Handmaiden, upgrades her inventory by turning in these ashes to her. These guys are not too hard, just be ready for the surprise attack. And they're okay. Alright, so before we head on, if you look this way, there you could jump onto that platform to retrieve a weapon. Just like that. And you can grab the Great Scythe, which is actually a pretty decent weapon. It has great range and it scales fairly well. And we're going to head back in this direction. This is the direction where the door had been closed. We're going to go ahead and open that shortcut. And before we take on the area boss, which is located right behind me inside of that abandoned church, before we do that, we're gonna head back to the Firelink Shrine to upgrade and spend all our souls. That way, if we die, we will not have to worry too much about it. So this is the next area boss. You'll see a few guys praying to that tree, but if you notice, the tree to the left is actually not a tree. He's like a tree boss demon kind of thing, and that's what we're gonna end up fighting. But before we do that, we'll head back to the shrine. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and upgrade ourselves a little bit. This is the Shrine Handmaiden, the merchant that upgrades by turning on more ashes.
How may I be of service?
We'll go ahead and give her the ashes.
Gracious, passing fine ash thou'st given. Let this ash bestow nourishment. I only hope these new wares content thee.
So you could look through her inventory and she'll have a few new items. Like, for instance, she has more embers now. And a few new other items. She also has 2 keys. One of these keys is for that location where we unlocked the blind failed firekeeper. We don't really need this key anymore. And there also she has the tower key for 20,000 souls. We won't be buying that yet, but we will eventually have to buy it.
Ashen One, be sure to bring more souls.
Before I upgrade, I'm gonna upgrade my weapon first.
What?
Oh, I'm still missing 2 more shards. Alright. So don't forget to reinforce your Estus flask, just in case you accumulated some there. And we'll go talk to our miracle NPC.
Oh, Champion of Ash. Welcome back. I was not meant to be a firekeeper, but I am honored to serve you beside the bonfire. The gods are ever merciful. My gratitude lies with them and with you. I am yours now. Your wish is my command. You know, in my home of Karim, I was a nun. I would be pleased to share the tales of miracles with you. Although, to be honest, I only know a few. But if I had a divine tome, I could tell you many tales and more. Oh, only I cannot see. Terribly sorry, but you'll have to find me a divine tome in Braille.
So, she will allow you to purchase miracles, which you can use with a talisman. And she will accumulate more miracles that you can learn by bringing Braille tomes to her. And you'll find those throughout the playthrough. She also has a ring available to her, which allows you to attune additional spells. So normally, if you increase your attunement stat, it allows you to have more than one spell inside of your repertoire. But if you slot that ring, you will basically have an additional slot for free. But it does take up a ring slot. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and level up and then
Welcome
head
home,
to the boss area.
Speak thine heart's desire. Very well, then taken. Let these souls withdrawn from manifestations. Farewell, Ashen One. May the flames guide thee.
I'm gonna spawn in on the cliff underside. I think it's the easiest location to head into the boss area. So we could go ahead and just run right over there. Now this boss has 2 phases. But they're basically the same thing. The way that you damage this boss is that he's got like these egg/warts that are all around his body, and he will only take damage if you like pop those warts that are on his body. He will not take damage if you swing at his feet or his legs or any other part of his body. You have to be damaging the wart looking areas. And also he is weak to fire, and since we have a fire weapon, it will be very helpful for us. I'm also going to call some of these underlings to us before we start the fight. He will call down more of his minions in the first phase, but after we get to the second phase, he'll stop calling down his minions. He will be a little more aggressive, but he will stop calling down his minions. So I'm gonna go ahead and call some of these guys out to me. I don't want to go too far up ahead because it'll trigger the boss fight. So we're gonna take out these guys from afar. And there you go, the boss fight has commenced. And you'll see these are the little warts that take damage. You could see how much damage we could do with a fire weapon. I'm trying to get to the one that's on his arm. And after we get into that one, we could pop the one that's on his belly. Be careful with the one that's on his belly because he does a grab attack. After you pop the ones that are on his belly, he enters his second stage. So we're gonna back off for a little bit. And it'll break down the floor to an area that you should be familiar with. Now be careful because he's going to be a little more aggressive and he could do a grab attack with that arm that he has now. That arm takes damage, but be careful. It is devastating when he grabs you. I try to take out these pods that are on his back. And with that being said, that's it. That's the whole fight. Now you'll see he dropped a boss soul, the soul of a Greatwood, and he also dropped a transposing kiln. And we're gonna go ahead and use that. I'll show you what that is. In order to do that, we're gonna head back to the Firelink shrine. You'll see that this guy, he ended up dying as soon as the ceiling caved in, but don't worry, we're gonna meet him later on. So in order to show you how to get boss weapons in this game, you have to beat this tree boss, and he drops that transposing kiln. Once you bring that kiln over to this little guy that sits on this throne, he'll be able to exchange boss souls for us. And usually there's at least 2 options for every boss soul, so you can't get everything in one playthrough. And if you want to get all of the weapons, you'll have to play the game at least 3 times.
Fret not, fret not. My feet are here firmly planted. For I am a lord, and this is my throne.
So we're gonna go ahead and give him the transposing kiln.
Oh, belike it is a transposing kiln in thy possession. Seen better days, but methinks it shall suffice. Now, bring to me a twisted soul. Transposition is the art of extracting and coalescing the essence of a soul. In transposing a twisted soul, its true power transferreth to thee. Thy purpose is to seek lords and slay them. What's to fear in a little transposition now?
So if we go ahead and transpose the kiln, we should have 2 boss souls now. One from the big demon we fought with Seedweb, and one with the tree demon. So some of these cost extra souls and some of them don't. Right away, I recommend this Pontiff's Left Eye. It recovers your HP with successive attacks. So I'm gonna go ahead and just grab that. And I'm also gonna grab the Hollow Slayer Greatsword. Just as long as you spend your boss souls, because you lose them at the end of the playthrough.
Do not be away over long.
And there you go. Now you've unlocked boss weapons. So go ahead and buy whatever you need, and we will see you again next time